Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Kusog7ande, the bad video game tournament. Bokosuka here, getting ready to choose the outcome for who took the victory. Bokosuka, from what we saw there. Well, we have 2 more matches, everybody. 2 more today, and we've got 4 matches tomorrow. It is a busy Kuso weekend. Of course, I want people to know as well, we might not have Don't Make Us Bored this next week. It depends on how Cornden's feeling. He has been on vacation, and that is pretty awesome. Everybody needs a vacation every now and then. However, next Friday we do have Grudge Match over on the GDQ channel. I've already got some of the players organized for that, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So if you do not have that written in your calendar, go ahead and pull out your calendars, everybody, and just make a little note to yourself. I better show up to Grudge Match, or Bokosuka will be disappointed in me. 10 p.m. Eastern. Disappointment, 10 p.m. Eastern. There you go. That show has gone really well so far, and it's one of the other things that is helping keep me financially afloat, so I really appreciate GDQ for letting us do that. Now, Kusog7ande, moving on. Let's do the reveal. Take us away, Crappy. Let's go. Oh, hello there. Mr. Sparkle, thank you so much. Well, Mr. Sparkle has nothing on this upcoming game because our GM, Tristan, the good old egg that we have here, is bringing the game. Tristan, come on in. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Question. Do you like Mr. Sparkle?
You know, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, okay.
But I've also seen some stuff, so...
Yeah, I mean, you are an egg, and I have seen some of the stuff that you have seen. And I had to ask if we had any flashing warnings for this game, because, you know, Mr. Sparkle and the Simpsons episode where they go to Japan, flashing was important, and you told me no this time.
No, I don't. I think flashing would be too advanced of a concept for this game.
Oh no, that's not a good sign. Okay.
I came to a realization. I don't think we ever had a real-time strategy game on Kusog7ande.
I don't think we have. No. We've had a turn-based strategy game, Godzilla 2, but real-time, I don't think we have.
So I went and I dug up,
unless you
what
count...
is probably the prototype, the blueprint for what eventually kind of became the sort of real-time strategy RPG genre.
Oh, we had Egg. That was almost... Yeah, Egg for PS1. I'd say that was almost a real-time strategy, but that's basically as close as we've had.
This is almost a real-time strategy game, too.
Okay.
I think it's going to be very exciting for everyone.
Yeah. What is this game?
This is the legendary quasi-legendary Kusoge for the NES and the Sharp ZX1, Bokosuka Wars.
Yeah, look at them. I don't know what this is, and those faces are a little unsettling to me. Bokosuka Wars. Who are we going to war against? Bokosuka, or is that, like, who we are?
A lot of chat seems to understand what we're in for.
Uh-oh. Well, that's a good sign. Chat, I have no idea what is going to happen, but I'm okay with that. I was going to say Lost in Plantinus was almost a real-time strategy game.
That was a turn-based platformer.
And yet, almost a real-time strategy game.
Pretty close.
As close as you can get with the platformer. Or is it? I don't know. But yeah, I have played a good number of RTSs, although I usually get, like, bored of them pretty quickly. I've never been a huge fan. I gotta be honest. Do you think I'm gonna be a fan of this one, though?
I think you're gonna be a huge fan of this.
Good.
I think you're gonna find the plot incredibly engaging and the Just the reveals as you move through the game. The music is amazing. The controls are really good. I had 3 people ask me if this game drops inputs, to which I had to say yes, a lot of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Oh, good. So yeah, this may be the first actual real-time strategy game that we have had. I'm not sure if egg counts, because the strategy is you roll the egg, but it's done in turns. You know, you roll your egg, and then they roll their egg, and then you roll your egg. So that's almost more turn-based. I'm ready for real time. None of that fake time.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll get into this and we'll see how much you feel this qualifies as a real-time strategy game.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Well, let me go ahead and pull it up here. Bokosuka Wars! Thank you so much, all of you RTS fans, for being here today, right? Something like that. Jeez, it is very unsettlingly quiet, but that's fine.
Yeah, before we get rolling here, I'm going to point out the main criteria for scoring here is going to be loop count, which I expect everyone to get 0. So we're probably going to be going by the distance counter in the bottom middle of the screen there. That's going to tick down as our racers get toward the objective.
The K220 there. Okay.
No. The 594 meters.
594 meters. Okay.
Yep. This is a game about a guy who has to walk 600 meters.
Okay, it looks like Mifa's ready. Fluffy Sugar, Digital Basic, and Essentia. So I'm going to go ahead and do the countdown. Everybody get all of your best real-time strategy emotes ready to spam.
I don't think we need emotes for this one. Just wow, you lose. That's all we need. Just wow, you lose.
Oh, I know that one. Okay, let's do the countdown, everybody. No, we need emotes. Anything text. All of your text emotes, okay? And spam, and you can also just spam the phrase "wow, you lose." That's fine as well. As soon as I see movement, I will start our timer, and then I will start our predictions for everybody. Yeah, ha. Oh, dwarves are basically text. I like that. Bad wet. Bad. That's a good emote. Okay, here we go, everybody. Best of luck to the players. We have 1 hour of this.
Yes.
Bitch. Okay, and I will get the poll going because our 3-4 players... Our 3-4 players, that's right. We've got Essentia, my sister, Fluffy Sugar, Digital Basic, and Mifa, Rivia, going through the game, trying to make as much progress as they can over the course of the hour. Please put your predictions, but
oh, there's a game over. There's
wow,
2 game overs.
Uh-oh.
Good.
Look at him go! Wow, this game over screen takes forever. Okay, I honestly don't know how they lost, but that happened.
Okay. So there's a lot to... There's our 3rd game over. There's a lot to unpack here. Let me start with the basic premise. You are King Surin, the one character on the screen for most of our racers right now. Your capabilities are to move around and initiate battles with enemies with what is effectively bump combat.
Okay.
The K220 at the bottom represents King Surin's current battle power. Enemies also have battle power, and when you collide, you fight, and your battle power determines who wins. If King Surin loses a battle, you instantly game over. No saves, no continues, no passwords. You lose one fight, you go back to the beginning of the game. Speaking of which, now, that would be horribly unfair. That's the end of the sentence. No. That would be horribly unfair. So you're able to get other units. If we look down at Digital Basic screen, Digital Basic has one knight with them right here. That knight has their own battle power. and can engage in battle, and Digital Basics sent the knight off the screen and is now dead. Oh no.
Okay.
So the strategic play is to rescue a bunch of soldiers, and they're hidden in the trees because an evil sorcerer has turned your entire army into trees. That's how they work, I guess. So you touch the trees to free soldiers and knights, and then you send the soldiers and knights at the enemy instead of throwing your very important king at them. It's kind of like chess.
Yeah. You did give a picture, by the way, explaining some of the HUD here. Let me pull that up for everybody. That is George Costanza. That is not the picture you sent me. How does he keep getting back here? George, go away. Okay, here. We absolutely cannot see that
No.
very well, though. Okay.
I was trying to evoke thoughts reminiscent of going to the video store, and I don't mean Blockbuster, and I don't even really mean your good local video store. I mean the video store that has one shelf of games to rent, and then 75% of the store is that weird room in the back.
So yeah, Radio Shack.
Yeah, and no.
Well, back when I was young, we would go to the Radio Shack and rent games there.
All right. And they lost the manual a long time ago, so some video store clerk took a photo of the screen and like wrote notes on it to explain what the UI is, and that's all the instructions you got?
Okay, so we do have enemies on the field, are the dark square at the top left.
Yep.
The 179. Rescuable allies left. The white square. There. How do you... Okay, and then we also have the 3 people who you're moving switch with A or B, so you can choose different... This music sucks, I gotta be honest. Okay, I don't like it.
This is the only song you get. You better like it.
I don't like it. Oh my gosh, it takes me forever to like zoom in on this. Okay, loop count, come on. If for some reason they do complete the loop, that will count how many loops they've done.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. We've got some objects circled. Have Surin touch trees to reveal hiding allies. Okay, the king is you, an ally knight. You can control your allies, right?
Yeah, by default, any input you give will control everyone in your army, but you can use that interface at the top to switch between only controlling Surin, only controlling generic soldiers, and only controlling knights, or moving all of them.
Okay, so you can control all of them.
Yep.
Well, I would probably just want to control all of them always. At least
That
at
is
first.
an option. Part of the problem there is if one of your soldiers goes off screen, they're instantly dead.
Okay, so that's not good. We do have some things at the bottom as well here. Let me try to scroll down there. Bad guys bump them to battle, which is basically like the hide-light formula. Bump into enemies to battle. Although that's a lot more random.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, distance to the boss. Bam. King Soren's strength is the K. Okay. No passwords, no saves, no continues, 1 life. Good luck. Cool. What's to the right? Last battle strength. Your unit versus enemy units. Question.
That's right.
What the
So
crap does that mean?
After 2 units clash into each other, when the battle is over, it will display the strengths of the 2 units that were involved down there. But if you die, you don't get to see the strength of the unit that killed you. Why would you?
Okay.
You're dead.
This is an experience, but this feels more like a bootleg. I gotta be honest.
This was considered groundbreaking in 1985. It's just aged like bread.
I imagine this was groundbreaking. Like, seriously, having to control all of these different units at the same time, just, you know, changing between them in order to have them go and fight. It would have been confusing. No other game really did that at the time.
Yeah, so it's worth pointing out, if units win fights, they gain strength. Even Surin can gain a little bit of strength. If a blue unit, one of the soldiers or one of the knights wins 3 battles in a row, they become a gold unit, which has like 100 more strength.
Yeah. By the way, the original for this game came out in 1983. This is old.
Uh-huh. You know when this got a remake?
When?
2017.
Is it any good?
No.
Wow.
It's the same game. It just has better graphics. So the cruel thing about this game, there's 2 specifically
Is it the
cruel
same
things.
music?
What's that?
Is it the same music in the remake?
I think it is the same music in the remake. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
I am so angry. That's not okay.
So there's 2 particularly cruel things about this game. The first one is your strongest unit is King Surin, the unit that if you lose him, you die. You're done. Game over. The fully powered up Gold Knight has either the same or 10 less strength than Surin. I forget which one. So if you fully power up Surin, you would think, oh, he's the strong one. Maybe I should just risk it. The other cruel thing is that battles are probably about 75% RNG. And you would think, why the heck would I give this out in a tournament? Like, how is this fair? It's fair because, I mean, mostly fair, I think. Because this is a game about controlling risk.
Yeah,
about
that's
positioning your disposable units in a way that they're the ones who take the fall. About finding units. Later on, you come across these jails that are on Digital Basic and Mifa's screens right now.
Yeah.
Those can only be opened with knights. So you got to keep a knight, ready to open those up to get you more soldiers.
Yeah, and if you don't, then tough luck, huh?
Someone in chat says, where's the RNG? I thought higher battle power equals win fight. No. So every time you get into a fight, battle power is multiplied by a certain amount on each side, and it's random how much the multiplier is. So a 50 power unit can kill King Surin at 230 battle power.
Well, that's
and it
not
will happen
good.
Frequently.
But it'll show you on the bottom like what the equation is, or what it ended up being, or does it just show like what their base power was going into the fight?
It just shows the base power.
Okay. So right now, Mifa, like, that's a decent amount of power for the king here, 320.
That is the max for Surin.
Okay, how do you get power for the king?
You gain 10 every time you don't die in a fight.
Okay, so if you know that there are going to be weaker enemies, having him go and do some of the fights may be worth it?
The strategy would probably be fight the weak units near the beginning of the game, so if you're gonna die, it happens early. And then once you hit 320, never fight again unless you absolutely have to. Just throw your gremlins, your underlings at enemies, or just try not to fight at all. But you also want to upgrade knights so they can be equally powerful.
Okay, gotcha. But is there any way to know your knight's power without having them fight?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Cool. Looks like Mifa's just like, let's go. Is 320 the max power for your knights as well?
What was that?
How powerful can your knights get? 320 the max?
320 as well.
Okay. So that's not...
you would think that would be a comfortable lead considering the strongest enemy unit in the game is I think 250, but again the RNG is a factor. Oh,
yeah,
it's 310,
so what,
310,
essentially if you can just have dudes you can throw in into a battle who may take deaths, that's good.
Yeah, this is very much a socio-political commentary of why should the king be the one to get murdered when he has people willing to do it for him. So Mifa just died at like 230 meters to go, and that's a strong start for the beginning of the race.
That's very good. Yeah, Mifa was trying to take down the various enemies around there, and again, like you said, the randomness here, you just want the strong guys, you want to get knights who have a decent amount of strength to go and be the ones potentially dying. Not guaranteed dying, just potential. That way, everybody... Save the king, let them die.
So there's a secret here I didn't disclose to the racers, and if someone figures it out, they may be far better equipped to make progress in this game than the other racers. The enemies can't attack you.
Wait, really?
The only way to end up in combat is if you move into an enemy.
Okay, so they can't attack any of your units?
Nope, you have to move on to them.
Okay. It looks like Essentia has a knight. How do you get the knight to open the door?
So the knight can open the prison by just walking into it, and then you have
is that
light
the knight?
Blue.
Is that the knight that she's controlling?
Who?
Essentia, or is that just...
Oh, that's King Surin.
No, like the other two characters with her.
Those are soldiers.
Oh, those aren't knights. They're just soldiers.
Nope. They're just grunts, foot soldiers.
Are soldiers able to get up to 310 as well, or are they more limited?
They have a significantly lower max power, but they have a secret little thing in that there are certain units that when they attack them, the battle power of those units falls to 10. Mostly castle guards.
Okay, that's nice.
It's kind of like Stratego in a way, where you have this neat little hierarchy of power, and then like the bottom unit just circumvents it and can kill the highest unit.
Yeah, I love it. That's actually, I think that's a really clever thing to have in any sort of strategy game, given a way that no unit is overpowered. There's always a risk element with units, just like the queen, okay? In chess. I'm not talking about Stratego, the queen in chess.
So yeah, Fluffy does have a gold knight. We'll see if he's able to keep that.
What does the gold knight do?
Just has a lot of battle power.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone knows this game from Salty Bet. There is a fighter that is just King Surin, a knight, and a soldier. And the way the fighter works is they have no mechanics. When the match starts, the AI walks the fighter into the enemy, and there's a coin toss, and one person wins the match. That's it.
Oh, are you serious?
Yep, that's it.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Essentia is getting close to where Mifa left off.
Very nice. Yeah, I think that... the challenge of I'm trying to think, what is the main challenge here? She has a gold soldier, by the way. Does that represent, they're at the max power that they can get to?
No, that's just upgraded for surviving 3 battles. They're veterans at this point.
Yay! Essentia is just chilling there, and I think she may have realized, I'm just sitting... Oh no, her soldier died.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I do think, given that we're in a 1-hour race, where most distance is the only criteria that matters, I would probably take a strategy where I try to not fight at all and just run as far to the left as I can. Now, that won't finish the loop for you, because to finish the loop, you have to defeat an enemy at the end. You have to defeat the evil king at the end of the path. But I think for a race like this, I would take the gamble that no one else would take the same strategy and get as far as me, and just try to get King Surin over to the end of the path and die to the evil king.
I think at this point, understanding how fast any of your additional characters die, that sounds like a decent strategy, yeah.
Though, of course, I know the game fairly well because I watched someone speedrun it for several, I don't know, week and a half or so, a couple weeks. Yeah, Sath in chat was doing some speed runs of this, and I got the idea of, you know what, maybe this would work for a Kusog7ande match, because I saw enough attempts at the game that patterns began to emerge. I'm thinking to myself, this isn't nearly as random as it seems if you're not doing it as a speed run.
Yeah.
It's still random, but...
Oh, yeah. Did you give them a manual or anything, or did you just give them the screenshot?
I just gave them the screenshot.
That's probably good enough.
This game never localized in English anyway, so there is not really a manual per se, but I think if I gave them a translated manual, the only thing it would have given them additionally is the power levels of the enemies.
Ah. But they can figure that out, you know? Hey, it looks like Fluffy Sugar has freed a whole bunch of dudes there. That's gonna be a lot of soldiers. Yeah, Fluffy Sugar is taking... Like, one thing to keep in mind is that there's no timer here. Even though this is technically a real-time strategy game, you know, everybody is sort of, like... You don't have to rush. And considering that nothing runs up and, like, kills you, that's fine.
Yeah, you have all the time in the world to make decisions in this game. The enemies will move around, but they won't actually engage you. So you can sit there and wait for them to move. Especially these weaker guards, they just kind of move around at random. You can wait for them to clear out, but some of the later enemies will just walk up to you and block your progress until you fight them.
I do like that Fluffy Sugar is using these normal soldiers as much as possible to try to kill these red guards, but the red guards are fairly weak, like...
So one thing Fluffy Sugar could do here is just fence this guard in and then move on, ignoring him, which he seems to be doing.
Yeah.
Well,
there we go, Mifa, back to the beginning. Fluffy Sugar is making a really decent push here. I do think that, like, the pro meta strat would just be, because progress is based off of how much horizontal distance you make, just making that push to try to get as far to the left as possible. And don't worry too much about all of the enemies here. You're probably going to die if you fight them. Or, you know, kill as many enemies as you can right at the beginning, and then make a mad dash for the end.
Right, and I feel like that was the key I was going for here. The only winning move here is to not engage the combat mechanics, and I think whoever latches onto that is going to make the most progress and take the match.
I believe you're right, yeah. By the way, Essentia is, I think, pretty much of the idea that, hey, I can fight enemies if I so choose, and I don't have to if I don't want to. She's basically only attacking the red enemies at this point, and I think that's the right move here, because they're only 10 power.
We see two strategies at play here. Essentia is trying to just go west and ignore everything. Fluffy Sugar has 3 gold knights and has been fighting a lot to get them.
Yeah. And that might actually pay off.
It might. They are fairly powerful, and if they're guarded fairly well, that will give him a much better chance to survive when he does have to fight. The speedrun, of course, just ignores a lot of stuff and just runs for the the ending.
Understandable. I mean,
actually, the speedrun now frame perfect manipulates the entire game, as I understand it.
Seriously, that's amazing. Fluffy Sugar just killed all of the enemies with the gold knights there. Very nice. Oh, so apparently, there are people in chat who are suffering from the music, and apparently on Salty Bet, they hate hearing this music for 70 seconds.
Well, we've got an hour of it.
Yeah, we're getting more than the Salty Bet amount here.
We're made of sterner stuff around here.
Yeah, salty people thinking that...
This is a war I may not want to start, actually.
Oh, Fluffy Sugar has realized, by the way, that when the enemy spawns with the soldiers around them, like they're the purple bricks, sort of in a cross pattern around an enemy. When those bricks turn into enemies, you can just kill the dude in the middle in order to get them to leave you alone.
Yep, that's Summoner. I didn't tell them anything about Summoners.
Well,
So
Fluffy Sugar knows. Yeah.
Yep. Having figured that out is real helpful, we'll say.
So apparently the task wins in 4 minutes and 23 seconds.
Yes, it's a very short game. I do believe the main category is just one loop.
Probably. Does it get
Yeah.
harder on later loops?
So when you begin the second loop, it's exactly the same game, except there's a bunch of tiles on the ground that will instantly kill any unit that touches them. And then every loop after that is, I believe, the same, possibly with more death tiles.
Amazing.
I didn't think that far ahead. I didn't figure anyone would finish a loop of this.
I mean, you did tell them the secondary measure is how many loops they've completed.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if they do, it's fine, because the game will loop forever. It stops tracking after 5, but if anyone gets 5 loops done in this in an hour, I'll eat my hat.
Do you have a hat?
Not anymore.
Well, did you eat it? You need to stop promising people you're gonna eat your hat. Oh my gosh. By the way, the story of the game, essentially King Ogre of the Basam Empire invaded and turned all of your dudes into rocks or trees. So you were left alone and you're sad and such. So you decide to walk to the castle to defeat the other king. And yeah, that's it.
That's it.
There's your
600
story,
meter walk.
everybody. That's less than a, like, I mean, I know people who do 600-meter runs.
Yeah, but do they do it while a bunch of evil demons are trying to kill them? I mean, you do live in Utah.
Yeah, it's really difficult to say. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this song. This is not musical. It's barely music to begin with.
I thought you would enjoy it.
As far as I can tell, this was made by one person, Koji Sumi, who actually got a thanks in La Mulana 2. So I guess the maker of La Mulana likes this, or at least acknowledges this exists. You know, it's complicated.
This had an MSX port, I believe, and La Mulana tends to lean very heavily into the history of the MSX and a bunch of homage and shout-out manners.
This did indeed come out on MSX back in 1984. I still love the wow you lose. It's perfect.
So Essentia got basically as far as she got as her high water mark, unfortunately. It was close, but not quite progress. Fluffy Sugar is getting close to the point where he might take first here if he keeps going. Definitely second very soon.
Mifa's game over. Back to the beginning. Yeah, Fluffy Sugar is just taking everything nice and slow, not rushing.
That might
just
be the strat.
for a blind playthrough. I think it may be like I would be a little bit concerned about how other people are doing, but honestly, it doesn't really matter because you don't know how far they are, and you know that if they rush, they're going to get a game over and have to start from the beginning. If you can manage to just slowly but surely make it to loop 2 and then loop 3 and then loop 4, bam, you're gold. Like the knight.
Yeah, the knight is definitely gold.
Da 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 da. By the way, all of the players here have 7 points. That means that nobody is getting eliminated because of freaking Bokosuka Wars.
Going out on Bokosuka Wars would be an experience.
I mean, if you're gonna go out big.
So Mipa took down a really solid starting run at the beginning of this race, and now just can't get a run going because you've got to fight a little bit in the beginning, and then the coin tosses start adding up, you know?
Yeah. I love that, like, Wikipedia is like, let's go ahead and credit this game for, like, creating 50 genres, like tactical RPGs. Yeah, that's right. Final Fantasy Tactics. This game is the reason that exists.
Digital Basic seems to have soft locked.
Also, early action RPG, so Witcher 3 wouldn't have existed without Bokosuka Wars. Real-time strategy, that's right. Warcraft, StarCraft, this game made them all. Reverse tower defense games, that's right. Bloons 6 wouldn't exist without Bokosuka Wars. I
have no idea what just happened to Digital Basic. There was like literally a 60-second long fight.
They were very angry. So it looks like Fluffy Sugar is in a little bit of a rough spot. All of his friends are dead. And unfortunately, he didn't level up at all because of this. You know, these enemies are a little bit terrifying. What you may be able to do, though, is lure enemies out and clear a path. I mean, you sort of do like Final Fantasy VI, okay? You remember in the FF6, you have the 3-party system in some of the fights where, you know, if you can manage to get enemies out of the way, you can sort of sneak and weave through them, and you don't have to do every single fight. Although the first time you play, you probably will because you just like doing every single fight. But later on for speedruns, you like want to fight none of them, and you can actually get away with only killing Kefka.
I am clenching so hard. No!
Oh no, teardrops for days.
Oh, that was rough. Like, the yellow guards there just formed a wall and refused to move, and every time Fluffy Sugar took one out, another guard came in and plugged the hole.
Oh, yeah, Meef is calling this RNG the game, and that's not the worst description. However, one thing to keep in mind when it comes to a game like this is that, like, there is RNG, there's a lot of it, but there's also a lot of ways to make things more reliable. And that's the biggest thing. You know, do you want to spend the time to make things more reliable for you as you're pushing through? Or do you want to go for the high risk runs through this? And honestly, I'm like, it's kind of exciting to me that there are many different options for how you want to tackle this. And all of them can be somewhat successful, you know? But also, even with the high amount of RNG here, there's still a lot that you can do in order to, like, get through it. It's not pure RNG. Nothing is going to be pure RNG. But even if it were pure RNG, the thing is, what you'd want to do is just set up as many opportunities for a good push as possible, you know? Get the bad attempts out quick. Get all, you know, just try again. Because eventually, if you have enough attempts, you may be able to get that lucky attempt.
I think Digital Basic was around 300 meters when they went down then. I took my eyes off of their screen for a moment, so I don't know exactly where they ended up. I was busy chortling at some of that banter in the match chat.
Yeah, Crappy did say 30 minutes remaining, and Essentia replied, that's too long. When people start replying to a bot in Discord, that's when you know that the game is going really well. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I've run a lot of, like, roguelikes, you know? I love the idea of speedrunning roguelikes. A lot of people don't like doing that, for good reason, because there's a lot of randomness to them. Roguelites are a little bit more skill-based, but roguelikes are brutal for the randomness that shows up. But there are ways to make it more reliable, and it's either, you know, avoid RNG in specific areas, or in areas where there is RNG, just try to get a setup where you can try that over and over and over and over and over and over again really quickly. So yeah, there you go. And honestly, you know, like, I've seen speedruns of Hide Glide. I've done Super Hide Glide, where there's a decent amount of RNG when it comes to some of the battles in it. Essentia, by the way, is living dangerously.
This is...
Oh,
They
okay.
just parted like the
Hold
Red
left,
Sea.
No! Oh, that was a
262.
good attempt, but unfortunately the king is dead.
The Gold Warriors section that starts at about 275 is kind of the Widowmaker here. Everyone's gotten to about there. Mifa got further, got to around the 230s. In her very first attempt, more or less, and hasn't been able to have that level of success since then.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I know that there was another game that was really big in speedrunning for a while, and I don't know how many people do it much now. Dicey Dungeons, which is, the whole premise is on randomness, like, because it's dealing with dice rolls. Oh no, Essentia, death. Yeah, unfortunately, you sometimes just get a little bit unlucky. I'm gonna go ahead and look up, like, if there is information about the damage rolls here, because this is ridiculous. And I hate this music. I hate it so much. So bad.
I guess in retrospect, I should have considered that making you listen to this for an hour might be a teensy bit sadistic.
No, it's fine. I've had worse. I'm just gonna, like, complain about it periodically.
I don't know. I considered it extremely comfy to have someone streaming this at like 2 in the morning because I have sleep issues, and just comfy speedrun attempts of this, and this music on extremely, extremely low to the point where you can't even really register it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is basically the Risk experience whenever I play Risk. Even if I go in with, like, a whole bunch of armies against, like, two little dinky soldiers that the opponents have. Yeah, this is my experience. Wow,
it's
you
like
lose.
Civilization, where just like a spear thrower can take down an attack helicopter. It's not likely, but it's technically possible. And this is why I dropped Civilization and started playing Humankind, but anyway.
Okay. So, power chart. King Cern always gains 10 power for each victory. Good. Max 320. Soldiers, can actually get up to 310 power level, but they start very low. Like 60, 70, something like that. No, 30. And then their first victory, they go up to 40, second victory up to 50, and then third victory, 140. So as soon as they turn gold, that's a significant amount of damage that they can do. But they max out at 310. The knights also max out at 310. I still don't know what the exact battle information is here. Wow, you lose! Crap. Hate when that happens.
The battle algorithm is a mess, is what it is.
Yeah, where is it? I want to find out what it is. How exactly does it work? Like, what's the calculation here? What numbers are they using? Is there any enemy that your king can safely battle without dying?
No.
Ever?
No.
No? Okay, Sath is saying no. You say no. There's just not.
Nope. You can be murdered horribly by anything.
To tell the truth, that's sort of how, like, it works in battles anyway. All it takes is one little mistake. Like, yep. You can be the most skilled samurai ever, and one little mistake, which everybody makes mistakes, it doesn't matter how freaking good you are, you're dead. And sometimes it doesn't even require you to make a mistake. You can just do as perfect as possible. And bam, suddenly there's like a small kid behind you that just stabs you in the back for no good reason.
It's like playing D&D before 4th edition. You could roll a wizard who could just be killed by like a house cat.
Yeah.
Like, oh, your initial hit die rolled a 1. That's too bad.
That happens in real life. People get scratched and then they get infections and then, oh, geez, yeah. Cat scratch is not anything that you just want to leave alone. You put some of that antibiotic on right away, because if not, that can mess you up. And it's just a little teeny cat scratch.
So everyone right now is trying to get another run going. We've got 3 of our 4 racers in the 400s. Everyone has gotten down into the 200s. I believe at the moment the spread is Mifa's first run got into the 230s. And then Essentia got to 262. Digital Basic got to 278. And Fluffy Sugar, despite having some really solid strategies, has just been losing to RNG. And I believe his high watermark's in the 290s, but they're all real close together.
Yeah.
I will probably have to double check, because that doesn't sound right that Fluffy Sugar only got to 290, but again, RNG.
Yeah. So, question. I don't know what that is. Apparently, the MSX version of the music is much worse.
I could buy that, because for the most part, like, there were a couple of examples of really good MSX music, mostly done by Konami. Hinatori for the MSX has really good music, but a lot of that stuff is kind of grating for someone who grew up with, you know, the NES and the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Huh. KM is saying going too far backwards in this game can really be a death sentence. Yeah, I'd say, like, the safest place to be as a king is sort of a little bit out in the open, which doesn't sound like it would be the safest place, but I think it probably is.
Mifa's making a break for the Gold Soldier region. Oh. She's at full power, which might make a bit of a difference.
Don't care. I don't care.
Oh, just waiting with bated breath to see if Mifa is going to be able to break past the wall of gold soldiers.
Mifa to 271, but there could be a game over at any point. Oh my gosh, Mifa, are you alive? You're still alive. Okay.
This might be one of the last ones for a while. Nope.
That was a good attempt, but nope.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Chad is saying that there is a task where they rescue the entire army and keep everybody alive, and that is just precious. I love that.
It's definitely possible, since you can win or lose any fight. It's just a matter of taking the fight on the right frame.
By the way, not everybody has realized that you can kill the summoner, and that gets rid of the other enemies around. Considering that the other enemies are 50 damage, dealing with the summoner is probably much less stressful than having to deal with the minions. I think the summoner is like only 10 health, whereas the minions are 50 power. Health, power, whatever, it's all the same. As it turns out, a sword to the face, it doesn't matter how much health you have, you're dead.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's how it works, everybody. Health
I know
is
I
a
wouldn't
made
want
of
sword to the
concept.
face in any situation.
Yeah.
That reminds me, there's apparently a competition that takes place in medieval fairs. I'd never heard of this before.
Sword
where
in
two
the
people
face,
put
the
on night
competition.
helmets and sit like on the ground facing each other, and then clunk each other in the helmet with a frying pan until one falls over.
I've seen that. I love it. That is gonna give you some hearing loss if you're not wearing earplugs.
I've never heard of this. I think it's probably one of the more ridiculous things. Oh no. Ascension's getting
yeah,
oh, no.
that was inevitable.
That was 265, not quite enough to be a new record for her.
Still a good set. Like, she's had a good push. Digital Basic, by the way, making a good push right now, but unfortunately, look at all these gold knights. Okay, think. You gotta think, like, if you're playing Diablo, what's the thing that you don't want to do? You don't want to get cornered. What's the thing that's good? Getting other enemies cornered.
I was going to say, if you're playing Diablo, the thing you don't want to do is keep playing Diablo. There's a bunch of better Diablo-likes out there now.
Okay. I actually really like going back and playing Diablo 1. It's definitely... Okay, Diablo 1's great. Diablo 2 is fantastic. Diablo 3... No. Because Diablo 3 is barely a Diablo game.
I actually put my sanity on the line and went and tried Diablo Immortal at one point, and oh lordy.
I feel like I should do that sometime.
No.
Like,
Save yourself.
Save myself?
Digital Basic, if they can move about 10 meters more, will be setting a new record for their progress.
Yeah, there's another fight right there.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, there's so many gold knights!
They have tied
Why?
their record now.
Why? Get out of there! Oh my
This
gosh.
is unfortunate. And there's more of them coming. Oh, they're trying to find a way around this, and it's just...
Yeah. Actually, no, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV lately. It's so good.
I gotta get back to that now that 6.2 is out.
Everybody, if you don't know what 6.2 means, because for some reason everybody playing Final Fantasy XIV has dumb speak enabled, 6.2 means patch 6.2. And that means that there's a little bit more content, and I hate how everybody just... I don't know. It's this little pet peeve of mine, Tristan. I don't know why I have this pet peeve, but I hate how people refer to just, like, random patches. It's weird.
Okay, but if I referred to it by its actual name, I'd be spoiling its content. What do you want me to do here?
Just say the latest update.
That's vague and ambiguous. Someone watches
So
this
is
6 months from
6.2.
now, they're not going to know what update I'm talking about.
6.2 is... Well, I don't care about what update you're talking about. I'm caring that there was an update. Like, I don't know what's in 6.1. I don't know what's in 6.
You're one of those people who updates software and releases a change log that says bug fixes and minor updates. Give me a break here.
Yeah! 6-2. 6-2 sounds cooler? No, it doesn't. It's two numbers. 6-2, 5-4.
Meanwhile, over here in
2-8.
not this ridiculous discussion, Digital Basic has gone backwards about 15 meters. Oh no. So 278 is their record. This is what I'm watching right now to see if they can get past 278. No!
People are saying that they're trying to avoid spoilers in current content. Literally anybody who knows what 6-2 means has read at least that there's some little paradise thing happening in the game. Woo! Whoop-de-doo! Yeah. Y'all know about, like, if you know Final Fantasy 14 and you even haven't stayed remotely up to date with what you're playing, you know about paradise.
Clearly, they should just start categorizing their updates with just the commit ID of the of the source tree as it was tagged out.
Justin just heated up some of my Chinese leftovers and sat down as if he was gonna eat them, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Unfortunately, Digital Basic wasn't able to make progress. There was a lot of just trying to sneak around the wall of gold soldiers.
Yeah, sneaking. Oh my gosh. Okay, Tristan, one of the most annoying things that I get asked, I'm gonna rant some more because I feel like it, because honestly, nobody is really well, Fluffy Sugar might be getting close to a new personal best, but, you know, this music is getting to me. Okay, is that when I tell people, hey, I beat Endwalker and I'm doing the in-between quests, and they're like, you didn't beat Endwalker then? I'm like, I freaking beat it. And then they're like, what patch are you on? I'm like, I don't freaking know. I do not have a web page open showing me exactly how many patches in I am. I don't even know what this means. And I'm not gonna go look it up, okay? What patch are you on? I don't know! So there you go, Tristan. I have no idea what freaking patch I'm on Final Fantasy 14 because I don't care. And I'm not gonna go look it up. Because what? I'm gonna get spoiled as soon as I look up what the names of the different patches are. Okay, anyways. There you go. Tell them I'm on 1.0. There you go, Ubi. That's gonna make people angry. What is the name of the main story quests I'm on? I don't know either. I'm sorry, but I'd have to go and open up the game. I don't care. I know that I have stuff going on. That's what I know. And you know what? If you have played the game enough to know, like, what patch each quest is, I'm just gonna tell you what I did in my last quest. But I'm not gonna go ahead and say that right now.
Somewhere back there in chat, it was asked if we even knew what the placements were at the moment, and they pretty much haven't changed.
Yeah, that would be Mifa in the lead, right?
Yeah, Mifa's still in the lead because of that run to around 230, where she just tore off running and somehow got around all the gold soldiers at the very beginning of the match. Everyone else has hit the gold soldier wall and just kind of ablated.
Someone is saying I'm in 3-1 or 3-2. I don't know! I don't know what patch I'm on! Stop it! Anyway,
that was an experience. Yeah. Oh, Lord.
What was this game? I'm losing it! I'm losing it because of this freaking music, Tristan.
How is it always my picks that just, like, drive you over the moon like this? It's always me. I don't get it.
Have you heard this music? Have you heard it?
Digital Basic is setting a record for their run, 276. They made it 2 more meters.
Like, here's the deal. All you have to do for interrogation purposes, you play this music, you give people a bowl of cornflakes, and then you start interrogating, and you're done. You've got the interrogation out.
What's wrong with cornflakes? Why is that
They're
interrogation?
so bland. You don't even give them milk. You just give them, like, a little Ziploc bag of cornflakes to munch on. And then you ask them what patch they're on, okay? It's literally the most boring thing. Like, people will confess to any murder rather than be stuck being that bored. Oh, so bland. What patch am I on? Oh, you're gonna get it, chat.
So I guess I shouldn't regale you of the stories of Bokosuka Wars 2.0, huh?
Please do anything other than this.
Well, it has the same music.
No! Why? Why would they do that? Does it have the same gameplay?
Yes,
No!
and it has
Why?
updated graphics, but you can hit a button and go back to the old graphics. And apparently there's an achievement for walking 25,000 meters, which just blows my mind that someone would play this long enough to do 20 loops and change.
25,000 meters. Everybody, I'm sorry that I screamed. I'm sorry if this made this match inaudible, like you couldn't listen to it anymore. But you know what? You already lost all sense of good taste as soon as you, sat here for more than 10 minutes, okay? Y'all, I'm not the one with the problem. You have the problem.
If anyone could put up with me for more than 10 minutes, they have no sense of taste.
Why do we
Let's
have
be honest here.
280 freaking people here? Go away. Save yourselves. I can't. It's too late for me. It's too late.
You know, when I give this out in the GM revenge round, you're gonna just kill me.
I think I'd be, slightly more interested if I were playing, but I hate this so much. Somebody bring up Stockholm Syndrome. Fact, Stockholm Syndrome is made up and false.
As far as, interesting stuff in the race goes, both racers on the top half of the screen are 20 meters from setting new records. We just gotta see if they can get it done. Essentia is cornered by one spicy gold boy. Oh.
Yeah, here gotta drink a glass of milk. Are you gonna get through? Ooh, oh.
The wave of battles.
How? How are you supposed to?
Have soldiers.
This is so dumb. What a game.
It's doable because we've had someone in this race do it. Granted, I say have soldiers. I think how she did it was she tore off running and just prayed.
I see more people hopping in. Go away. This save yourselves. Okay? This game is absolutely here to destroy you. It is not made for people. This is made... okay, if a human did indeed make this, they released it. It was made in a laboratory, okay? Specifically a laboratory that has evil people working in it. The evil science men, okay? You know those guys. Like Hojo. Hojo from FF7 was leading the lab that made this. And I have lost my flippin' mind!
I think this is less a Hojo thing and more a Final Fantasy XII Sid thing.
Okay, I didn't play Final Fantasy XII that much.
Unfortunately, Fluffy Sugar went down at around the 300 meter mark. We're running out of time. I think our positions might be starting to settle a little bit.
Don't say.
You know, I jokingly on social media like to fancy myself a supervillain, and seeing your reaction, maybe I can tap into that a little more strongly than I thought I could.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You're like the supervillain who everybody is like, oh, they do that to other people, but not to me. You know, and then everybody ends up becoming your ally, and then they all die. It's like, well, should have seen that coming. Supervillain right here.
It's less they do that to other people and not me, and more, well, they get consent first.
Hey, you know what? Murder is murder, even if they consent. Not allowed. I've read the laws.
It's rare to hear bro this salty in a game. It's always me. I don't know why it's always me that puts bro in this state, but it is.
Like, this is one of those games that I'm glad somebody made, but if they put like an ounce more of work into the audio, then we wouldn't be having this discussion right now, okay? Seriously, mistakes were made like 3 decades ago. And we're almost 4 decades ago, and we're suffering because of it.
Isn't it great? I think Flippy Sugar is given
butterfly
up.
effect. Butterfly's getting all up in your face.
Fluffy Sugar is tapped out, and you know, in the final 3 minutes, that's fine. I don't think he can make progress at this point.
Save yourself! Save yourself, Fluffy Sugar. You're not getting eliminated. You could have played for 2 minutes, and then I would have been like, that was long enough. I know this game. Okay, no, I would have made you play the full hour, but still. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Apparently there's a song to this, which I imagine the lyrics are as inspirational as the game itself.
The lyrics are actually pretty decent.
What?
Yeah. Someone, I think, linked them earlier. I had them somewhere. I was actually going to use them as the instructions because they're fairly instructional.
What?
Do I still have them?
Lyrics
I do still have them.
Oh, Essentia, by the way, is dead. That's fine.
Oh, no.
I was going to say, there's hope. Whatever, there's never hope. There's never hope when it's freaking Bokosuka Wars.
Let me just drop this in the GM chat for you to peruse later.
Fine.
All right, I think we're finished. I know I'm finished after this.
Well, I mean, we've got 10 seconds. Oh no, 10 seconds. Blah, blah, blah. Like I care. Like I care. I could have ended... It's my stream. I could have ended it an hour ago, but I forgot. Okay, the music's muted. Everybody, we're safe. You are safe from this.
Bokosuka Wars, yeah.
Whatever,
for sure.
Baka Wars.
I'm willing to call that Mifa took first in that. And then we got...
Essentia taking second, from what I understand. Yeah, Essentia was actually really shocked about how she did during the last match, coming in second, and she took second again. So yeah, go ahead and let them know. I'm gonna invite Mifa to come and chat if Mifa wants. Oh my gosh. Digital Basic is saying, I love rolling dice for an hour. The thing is, like, there's still ways to make some progress. Yeah. So the order is Mifa takes the victory, and Essentia takes the second place, and Digital Basic takes the third place, and the Fluffy Sugar is in fourth. Essentia saying, wow, I'm sure I was in last. Nope. Second place. You have to play some more. Actually, all of them get to play some more because nobody is eliminated due to this game. Mifa will come and join us in just a little bit, so it'll be fine. We'll get to hear some opinions, and they are probably all going to be correct because this game is bad. This is a bad game, and it should feel bad about itself, okay? Any of the robots who have this on their hard drive, guilt. You're going to be judged by a deity of some sorts, okay? Even if it's me, I will be the robot deity and I will delete you. Stupid robots for hosting the data that created this game. Hello there, Mifa.
You asked me for bad games, and I gave you bad games. I don't know what the problem is here.
Look, Mifa is here. We can argue in front of the children later. Mifa, hello.
Lolly ho.
Congratulations at the victory. I hate this game so much.
You didn't have to play it for a full hour.
I know. I'm so glad. Oh my gosh. This is possibly the worst game that we have had on Kusog7ande for a very long time. But you managed to take the victory in the first, 5 or 10 minutes of the match. How do you feel about that?
What?
I hate this game so much. I have a lot of opinions, but still, this is sort of the Kusog7ande experience. You never really know what's going to be dished, and you got dished Bokosuka Wars. I don't know.
Just call it trash like it is.
Trash. Okay, Mifa, go ahead and let me know your genuine opinion. What do you think of this game? Do not let my opinions or my endless yelling affect anything that you're going to say here.
It's basically a 50-50 simulator. All you do is you're gonna either win or not, it feels like.
Okay, 50-50 simulator. You're either gonna win or you're gonna lose. Okay, that's true. What am I doing? Sorry, I'm trying to get other stuff ready, but my mind is so dumb at the moment. With that said, one thing that I like to say when it comes to games like this is that while there is a lot of randomness, there are ways to sort of adjust to the randomness. Did you find any reliable way to do that?
With the game eating so much inputs, trying to move around the field is just abysmal that you can't even try to bypass anybody. You just have to try to just brute force your way through, it felt like.
Okay, you just sort of had to brute force. I know that one very important thing that I think people started figuring out is that the enemies will not fight you ever unless you run into them. And that's the only case that you have a battle come out. Did you find that helpful at all, or did that end up being more harmful because you started going slow and then enemies surrounded you, and then tough luck, baby cakes, you're surrounded by all these nerds. Gross.
Yeah, it's just you try to get around them and there's just no way.
There's no way. Yeah, I think that, while I would be tempted to go slow, which honestly, one of our players, I feel actually made a very good push. It was Fluffy Sugar who was going very slow on one of the attempts and just recruiting. But then all of Fluffy Sugar's people died. They're all dead. Bodies all over the battlefield. What do you do? Great, you brought what, 50 people to the war? They all died? They're useless. You can't use corpses. How are you going to bring a corpse to defend you? No, doesn't work.
It's almost like you had to use the Allied Knights actually to make the enemies fight so you could actually get around, because it felt like your strength could only go up to 320 and you couldn't really do anything else after that point.
Yeah, I do think sacrificing them a little bit could be worthwhile. Have them run in. Could you move while the other characters were fighting?
Yes, you could. And for some reason, their input lag seemed a lot less than yours.
Okay, so that actually could be beneficial. Sacrifice them to the Gold Knights and try to run around during the fighting.
You mean if you have them by the time you get to the gold knights?
I mean, yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing, Mifa. Yeah, your allies, all of them can go up to level 310, which is good, but they can still die whenever, you know? It's just, there's a lot of randomness in this game. I'm gonna say that, like, no shame for anybody who didn't make as much progress as you, Mifa, because you had a very, very good dodge enemies and run as far as you can early on, and it was definitely the right move. And the more that you tried to play the game, the more the game punished you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so the answer to this game, how do you make progress in this game? The answer is you don't play it. You run. And you just run. You just try to run. Get away from the bad guys and just run. Okay, so there's my rant about this. There was a lot of screaming towards the end of the match, just so you know.
Brucentia went nuclear for about 10 minutes. It was kind of amazing.
I hate this game so much. And I've never seen it before. I've never played it before, but wow. We lose. Wow.
I think the best approach to this game, to quote the immortal words of Sun Tzu, the only winning move is not to play.
Yeah, it's true. That's the guaranteed way for you to not lose. Well, Mifa, I have to ask, are you streaming anything over on your channel or doing anything exciting these days?
Just the new Final Fantasy patch 6.2.
Shut up! Do not say 6.2! No! Mifa! You were
What?
Don't you
I'm gonna
do
have to
this to me.
explain this to you
Don't
later.
you do this to me, okay? Mifa,
Well,
you...
island time.
Yeah, see? Tristan, that's how you say it. You say the island patch.
Brucentia apparently has a strong dislike for people who refer to content patches by their version numbers. We had an argument about it.
Dumb. We literally argued about this during the match, okay? And then you come up here with all of that attitude, Mifa, and just say
And it doesn't help
6.2.
that I'm a programmer who heavily leans into semantic versioning, so I'm offended by Brucentia's wrong
I'm
opinion
offended
here.
by your offense. How about that, Tristan?
I'm offended by your face.
Oh no! Anyways, Mifa, I apologize for yelling.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I think we're gonna call it there. Thank you so much, Mifa. Go enjoy 6.2.
With the immortal words of this game, wow, you lose.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm gonna run before Brucentia murders me. Have fun, everyone.
I've lost my mind. Thank you. See you later. Bye, Tristan. Oh my gosh, everybody. I'm gonna go and try to forget about numbers for a second. We will be back in about 1 minute with our final game, so see you then.